Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ljubljana Talks. And with Gorazd, we have another fantastic guest with us, Ori Lahav, the CEO of Kines Group.
Hello.
What an honor to finally bring you to Ljubljana Talks.
It's my pleasure to be hosted here. Thank you.
I know you've been to Ljubljana.
Yes, true.
I know you know it. So when is the next time you're coming?
Oh, that's a very good question. For sure in the next couple of months.
I already know, and I think you know as well. It's going to be the Central European chapter with ICA.
Exactly.
So, Ori, we haven't had the chance to talk about Kines,
Yes.
one of the largest PCOs in the world. Tell us what's happening in the world of Kines right now.
Well, a little bit the short intro about Kines. We've been founded in 1965, so we are celebrating our 61st anniversary. And it is a company that started as a family business, and it's still very much rooted in our DNA, this family feeling that every employee is part of the family. Of course, it was easier when you were working 5 days a week in the office, all in the same office. Now, when you're a global company, we have multiple offices and I think multiple nationality. I think we have over 13 different nationalities within our team. It's more difficult to sustain this DNA, but it is very important to us as the leadership of the company to make sure that every employee feels part of the family, because at the end of the day, our biggest asset is our employee. We don't sell cars, we don't sell mobile phones. Our services is based on our people, their expertise, and knowledge and service level. So that's one thing. Of course, as a company, we work globally, from Australia to Hawaii and everything in between. We run about 100 events per year, plus minus, with about 200,000 people that go through our events every year. And what's happening now is that, of course, after COVID, I would say not even after COVID, it's the last 6 years since 2020, this industry is going into a shift. So obviously it was a very, I want to say negative, but a very challenging shift when we all had COVID. But I'm now, 6 years after, we're still in a, I don't want to say crisis mode at all time, but I think the uncertainty is the new certainty. And this is the world we are navigating in. And so what we have seen also because of that is that the objectives of the people who are attending an event are also shifting. So if in the past it was more about, my professional development, that's always, true today as well. It was about when my company forced me to go, I need it for my credits as a doctor. But today it's more about my personal growth. It's about networking, it's about knowledge sharing, and of course we need to adapt as well to make sure that we help facilitate and meet those goals.
Or tell me more about this transition from more logistics business to what we now know as 360 degrees PCO agency with all things around, a lot of communication things you are actually developing and so on. What can you say about it?
Absolutely. I 100% agree that if in the past we were looking at event, and now it's just events and already also what's in between those years, as you said, 365. And as a company, we have 3 pillars of services. One is what we call the PCO, the events that we are running, that's still our core business. Then we have association management. We're an AMC company, and we provide the day-to-day management of association. We run about 28 different European and international associations, mainly in the medical field. And the third pillar is everything related to education and digital. And the 2 pillars are actually complementary to the event. So how do you manage in between events when it comes to education, when it comes to learning, webinar, podcasts, accreditation, so forth. And in addition, we have what we call Kines Marketing, which is our internal marketing agency that provides marketing services for our client. And again, it's all about 365 communication as a one-stop shop.
Provocation. Is it possible that AI will replace us? Replace PCO agency?
No, I mean, in the world of AI, we are doubling down on human connections. Because what happens with AI is that people become, or with the online world, we become more lonely. And so the power of getting people together is much more important, much more stronger than any time in the past. And so, and we see an increase in demand year after year. At least, in the last 2 years, and even looking ahead in the next 2-3 years, we see an increase in demand of participation for in-person meeting. Again, with shift in the objective, I think we'll see also a rise of micro events alongside the mega events. So if it's my specialty, if it's my smaller community that focuses on this, or it's my peer from other companies, so we will see a lot of micro events that will be either physically next to a large event or on a local level, on a regional level. We will see much more of this, but it won't come on the account of the regular mega events.
Do you see these events as complementary, or are these events that will change into a different type of events?
Well, I think it's too soon to know. It's true that let's 80% of our business or 70% of our business is medical, life science, and so forth. So I can give you an example. If in the past, 40 years ago, there was one main cardiology event. There still is. European cardiology is probably the largest medical events in Europe, but there are probably 50 more events for specific specialty within cardiology. It could be pediatric cardiology, it could be, and so on and so forth. And I think the world has developed that far, and we have more professional people that it didn't come in on the account of the big event.
So when we look at the global situation right now, we see there's on one side a lot of turbulence. In a way, we are all getting used to this turbulence. How do you see this affect the events that are taking place right now? Do you see that people are trying to remain more local, or are they still going global? Do you see that some parts of the world are traveling, but some are not?
Yes, I think, as I said, in the last 6 years, we're living in an uncertain world, and we, in our industry, we speak a lot about resilience, right? And I truly believe that resilience for our meeting industry and us as meeting professionals should turn to a brain muscle. It's like walking, right? When we walk, we don't think about walking. If we're gonna need to think about walking, we're probably gonna stumble down. So resilience has to become a brain muscle that we practice. This is how we do, and this is how we react. And so if you look at the managing risks, right? In the past, if you wanted to be prepared, you did this table, this metric that says, okay, this could have happened, what is the likelihood this will happen, and what is my plan B and C? Yeah, exactly. But today, we're moving from this risk management to crisis management because we cannot even foresee what we're gonna stumble. And so we need to train our people how to act, how to behave in an uncertain world. And yes, it is affecting, not as much as people think, because I can see even in the last year or 2 years that the world is not non-stable. Our events are doing very well, and I also think for the rest of the industry. And of course the reports you see and all the research that was done are in McKinsey, that business leaders are more scared from the geopolitical situation, how this will, it's the biggest risk for them, how could affect their businesses. But on the other hand, I always tell my team, heads down, let's do what we do best and deliver amazing events. All the rest of the noise, let me deal with the noise, and you continue to do what you do best.
I just need to ask you, is this really the golden age of events we live in? What would you say? And the second one is about your buzzword. I heard resilience several times today, but what would you say? What is the buzzword saying all about the industry at this particular moment, as it was sustainability for quite a long time?
Yeah, sustainability and AI are a big buzzword, but you have to walk the talk. So maybe less talking, more doing, that's for sure. And I can tell you, as a company, we do a lot both with AI and a lot with sustainability. I can give you a few examples if you like. So from AI point of view, we have developed a few things that are external and internal. External services that we provide our clients, internal for us to be more efficient. And I will come back to the golden age. So when it comes to clients, of course, AI session summary, AI translation, all of those, but also what we call AI abstract. So we have the ability today, if a researcher or doctor submits his abstract, we give him an indication what is the likelihood this abstract will be accepted by the review committee based on a model that we trained on the last 3 or 4 years of abstract submission and grading. And so we give him a feedback when it comes to language, terminology, structure, to improve the chances. So it's good for science, it's good for research. This is one example that
It's very sustainable.
And so that's a few examples. We do more external internally for us to become more efficient. Of course, we have those mailbot and chatbot that does automatic answers to client inquiries, but to the level that it is connected to all our internal system, whether it's a registration system, scientific system, hotel. So if you want to get your voucher for the hotel, or you want to get the receipt, or you want to do a change in your registration details, that can be all done automatically. You don't have to speak with anybody. And that made a big shift for us when it comes to being more efficient. So this is just some of the examples. When it comes to sustainability, and we are about to release our 2025 report, and you will see that 90% of our events in 2025 have committed to specific UN SDGs in their events with reported actions on each one of them. We had about 70% that offer offsetting, carbon offsetting for people registered, and I would say about 40% we also did a whole measurement of carbon measurement, and hopefully we can do it year after year, so we'll have a benchmark. In addition, last year, as we celebrate our 60th anniversary, one of our legacy programs was to create the Canis Forest. And we have committed to our team that we're going to offset all the team traveling, all the Canis Group team traveling, by planting forests, and we have a forest in Africa. And not only that, you can go in and log on online and see your tree. Wow, cool. And every quarter you get a picture of how the tree grows. And what we've done, beside offsetting all our team traveling, we gave it also to our VIP as present. Instead of giving another non-sustainable giveaway, we planted trees on their behalf. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Another angle I want to open. So we live in a golden era.
I think we live in a very good time. I don't know if it's that golden age. I think we're. My vision is that in the coming years it's going to be even better. It's going to be even better because I'm very excited and truly believe in AI and the revolution, transformation we're going to enter through. And the fact it's actually going to help us with the in-person meetings.
With your expertise in association management, what would you improve in the associations around us? We all know in our industry. Are you happy with the associations? Since Jans cannot comment this, he's in one of the association on very, very high position. So Jan, this is not a question for you. So yeah.
I can tell you that being on board of association, I've served 7 years on the board of IAPCO, and I'm now on the second year board of PCMA, but also providing association management services to so many clients. You asked me if I'm happy. No, I'm not happy. I think the model is a little bit, the business model, the membership model is outdated. I'm happy to share that in PCMA, we don't look only at membership, but we look at the community at large. And we have this matrix, how do we measure engagement with the community at large? So, and this is how you define it. It could be somebody who is registered to your mailing list. It could be somebody that comes to your event. It could be somebody that follow you on social media. You decide what is the metrics of engagement level. And I think it's, for some association, it's more powerful to say that they have a community of 100,000 people than 1,000 members. The question is, A, how do you keep the engagement? And B, how do you monetize that? Because this is the second challenge of association, and that's the financial diversity of revenues. because what most of them are based on events and membership. And in these days, it's probably not enough.
So in a way, picking up on Gorazd saying it's the golden age for events, in a way we have more events than ever. We see that ICA has recorded almost 15% additional events in the statistic for 2025. So there's a lot more events. Yes. So from that perspective, we could say it's a golden age. But at the same time, I hear what you're saying, that the model and the background processes are still the same as they were.
Yes.
And I love picking your brains because I think you have a unique insight into so many things around our industry. Let's talk about the future generation.
Okay.
So, because I think this is actually something that we are touching upon. We are trying to bring new people in the industry. We know everybody has staffing issues. How do we educate them? How do we motivate them? How do we give them the wings to fly if at the same time there are restraints in the old business model? So
I'm a bit more optimistic than a lot of people. I think that we are very fortunate with the next generation coming up in our event. And I'll give you a few examples. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Singapore. And part of the things we do with PCMA, we had a PCMA board meeting and convening an APAC, but we were collaborating with the Singapore Institute of Technology, University in Singapore. And we had a student competition, 10 groups. They had an objective to redesign PCMA APAC for the Generation Z. The notes I took from their presentation and the phenomenal ideas that they have shared made me believe that we are in a safe place in our future. They are bright, they are smart, they are motivated. So that's one example. The second example is that I'm also the chair of the PCMA Foundation Scholarship Committee. And so we review the scholarship committee coming mainly from the US, but not only. And again, seeing the application, the motivation, the ideas, again, gives me a lot of confidence about the future. And the last thing I want to say that I think we tend to stereotype a little bit too much the Gen X and Z and so forth. Not all Gen Z are the same. And so it's more about the skill set gap than the age.
And talking about new generations and talking about business professionals and talking about you traveling all the time and everywhere, and I think we met on almost every continent.
Yes.
There's one topic that is kind of creeping up on us all this time, and that is how do we actually keep normal? How do we keep healthy? How do we do well-being? What's your take on that?
Oh, I love. There's a book. Your oxygen mask first. Like in the airplane, if you travel with your kids, first you put your oxygen mask on your face, then the kid. And I think as leaders in any sector, not only in the business industry, we have to first take care of ourselves. And I found my thing, which is CrossFit, which I train a lot, a couple of times a week, and I do it wherever I travel in the world, and keeps me focused. And it could be somebody who loves reading book, and the other one loves go to the theater or concert or see movies. And I think we have to make sure that we keep that balance on a personal basis, and also keep the well-being of our stuff as well. I'm not a believer of work-life balance, because I don't understand this word. I mean, my life is my work, and sometimes I finish at 3 o'clock, and sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning. So it doesn't really matter. But I need to find my inner balance, and I need to make sure that my team find their own inner balance as well.
Like the spirit very much. I agree, definitely. I would like to ask you a different thing. We are coming from Ljubljana. This is Ljubljana Talks, so second-tier cities. What can you say about it? Where are they? Where is the position of cities like Ljubljana in your strategy? How we fit into your big plan, I would say, and where is the biggest opportunity for us?
Yeah, I mean, we have done events in Ljubljana, as you know. although it's a second-tier destination. But as I said, the rise of the micro events, it's the more specialty events, and Ljubljana has a lot to offer. I love the city. I've been there a couple of times. Besides the fact it's beautiful and amazing people, and no, seriously, we always go back to places we had good experience. We do business with people, not with business, and so it's a big factor for us where we choose to host our events. If not always we can influence because sometimes it's an association, but we have our own shows and we can decide. And second tier, it might be more challenging when it comes to accessibility. Okay, it's fine. So I think you need to be focused on your target audience when it comes to the right size, but also when it comes to does it match the city focus? Okay, if the city has a specific sectors that they focus on, this is what I would target. For example, we have our own event called G4R, Golf Tech for Impact. And I just came back a couple of weeks ago. We did our third edition in Madrid. Why Madrid? Because we found a match between the vision of the event and the vision of the city. The city has their own digital strategy, and they are leading in digital transformation. And they want to have their city perceived and branded as an innovative city. But more than that, they understand if they will keep the event there, then it will help them build a whole ecosystem. Mm-hmm. So if Ljubljana has a specific sector, this is where I would target.
And it's a little bit more provocative question. What is your favorite place at this moment? If you can name it globally, I would say. Oh, for organizing events, of course.
For organizing events? First of all, on a personal basis, not for organizing event, I love Japan. The culture, the people, the scenery. Doing congresses there is a bit more complicated, although we do that quite often. Where do we love? We go back to places we enjoy. I don't want to offend anyone. It's a tricky question, but we do, Spain is a place we do a lot of events. We have a big office there, but we do Madrid, Barcelona, especially Barcelona, we do a lot of it. If we look at Scandinavia, we do a lot of events in Gothenburg, in Copenhagen, and many other places. So in Europe, it's always easier to organize events, compared to Latin America, or Asia Pacific, even US. So I'm happy to do a lot of events in Europe.
Well, we usually finish with some fire questions. I will give you two, and Jan will give you two.
Okay.
And then we have some one special task for you.
Okay.
We have secret questions for you in this jar. So
wow.
First of all, physical or digital events? That's my
physical.
first. Physical. Why?
I mean, there's no replacement for in-person gathering. That's why you're here.
The desert or the forest?
Forest. I mean, green, right?
Okay. I'll go straight to the second one, which is the mountains or the sea?
Well, I was always born and raised next to the sea, so sea.
Sea.
Safety or experimentation?
Experimentation. For sure. I mean, we're as a company, as part of our DNA, we're an entrepreneur and we like to take risks. Well, like to take risks. We're happy to take risks when needed. So yes, always experiment.
Now it's your turn. We open this. You have 3 questions to answer. Okay, I will do it like this for the camera. Okay, you can take 3.
3.
Yeah. One more. Amazing. Okay. Let us see. What is there.
Okay. Which city feels most future ready? Singapore. Singapore has a vision. The short term is 25 years. And I've been in their museum that looks at the planning for the next 25 years, and that's the short term for them. So they're definitely there. Okay, which destination would you choose for one final event? Wow. Ljubljana, of course.
It's an easy one.
Sorry. What do audiences secretly hate? Oh, audiences meaning events participations?
Yeah.
But there's not enough food in the event.
Very good points.
Never about the food, but always,
It's always about the food. It's always how you made them feel, right?
Ori, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Finally, we made it, and I think it was such a great talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, and everybody stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.